Looks like the media is Donald Trump's enemy, except when it comes to Fox News.
That's right.
And I've heard it said that Donald Trump is going to be loud and strong, and as long as Fox News stays with him. Will Fox News ever break?
I think they could. I mean,
Really?
Certainly, because they don't have Roger Ailes anymore.
Yeah.
Nor do they have Bill Shine, who was really somebody who implemented much of what Roger Ailes' vision was, who was the president that got pushed out after Bill O'Reilly because he had helped cover up some of the sexual harassment. So, they had two really important implementers that are gone, and you can see some of the fissures and cracks within the network. It's still an alternative universe, and the irony in all of this is that as much as Fox News is Trump's greatest ally, in many respects, they're also his worst enemy because they've created much of the reality that he has that leads him to go out there and give these kinds of press conferences where he can warn about the alt-left or say both sides, because that is literally parroting the kinds of things that you hear on Fox and right-wing talk radio.
For example, when we're talking about having to, if we go after Robert E. Lee, then of course you have to tear down the Washington Monument and the Jefferson Memorial. He said that yesterday, Tuesday. Monday night, here's Martha McCallum and Newt Gingrich on Fox News.
Where are you going to stop it? You want to say, what if you weren't sensitive enough to the Holocaust? We should take down all the statues of Franklin Delano Roosevelt? You can make an argument for that. I mean,
you could make an argument for Thomas Jefferson and George Washington. Are you going to change the name of the Washington Monument?
If you want to take out slave owners,
yeah, absolutely. That's my point.
So your point is he's parroting a lot of what he hears on Fox.
Completely. I mean, much of the stuff that he was saying sounded exactly like Fox News. So, for example, I think one of the issues on Saturday, to be honest, was that he was watching Fox. And if you were watching the coverage on Fox on Saturday before his statement, it was almost a 50-50 split. They did not call or say anything about the car attack. They called it an accident, number one. And number two, they said that the driver very likely could have been acting in self-defense. And so that was almost half of their coverage pointed out that the driver was likely acting in self-defense. So if you're Donald Trump and you're sitting there watching Fox News, of course, when you get to the microphone, aside from the fact that you have sort of a sympathetic ear to a lot of the white supremacists, you've also just been told that maybe the guy was acting in self-defense by the network that you pretty much only trust. And so I do think that in large part of the reason he keeps making these big public stumbles is because he is just parroting what he hears in this alternative universe.
Right. Now, we were all wondering how this could happen, how this could people knew that there was talk about bringing the statue down. They knew that this rally, had been planned because there was a permit for it. So you see all these factors that could lead to something blowing up. How could this ever happen? Well, that might have been a big mystery until Rush Limbaugh yesterday. He told us the secret.
That's right. It's all the Democrats.
Yes.
Oh, you're going to play the audio.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Somebody wanted it to happen, or somebody knew it was going to happen and didn't want it to stop because they wanted to try to capitalize on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the Democrats let it happen because we could capitalize on it.
Rush Limbaugh is sort of what I find interesting about him is that he sort of mastered the art of conspiracies without offering any theories, right? So like Alex Jones and Sean Hannity, they can posit a conspiracy and then they'll give you the mechanics of how this happened, right? Like Democrats either paid somebody or this person was a spy or whatever that is. They'll really get into the details. He'll just kind of float this idea. Somebody knew and was sort of involved. Doesn't give any explanation because he knows his audience will sort of fill in all of the gaps. But it's a style and a tactic that he takes all the time, and it's very, very distinct to him.
But the real question is, I mean, it's first of all, that the Democrats couldn't organize a two-car funeral.
Right, exactly.
But the idea that, oh, yeah, this is really going to be trouble. Good. Let's let it happen, right? Let's make it as bad as it could possibly be because then we'll really make and then we'll invite Terry McAuliffe down. It was all planned ahead of time.
Engineered.
Yeah, engineered ahead of time. But a real question, does anybody listen to Rush anymore?
He doesn't really have any kind of persuasive power or influence. What he has is inertia. So a lot of the stations that he was on haven't swapped him out yet. Some of them have. Actually, he's lost a lot of stations. But his commercial viability is essentially tanked, and so he took an enormous hit as a result of that. But it's inertia. Most of his audience, if you just compare, you can compare sort of even a smaller right-wing radio host. If you go and look at social, they can move people into action. Rush's audience is mainly just they're driving, they're sort of stuck. He doesn't really have the hold over the party the way that he did in the past.
Right.
So he's just kind of Alex Jones is really an influencer now. Sean Hannity is really driving the bus. And in some ways, it's a lot scarier. And I think that's partly why it's so erratic and all over the place. But Limbaugh just is not an influential person.
Sean, who is